Hello, everyone. Oh, thank you for joining us. So welcome to Aspen Valley's virtual winter program. And I'm Miss Nixon, the art teacher at Aspen Valley and Meadow. And we're here to celebrate you, the students. And also we're going to celebrate the Native American culture and the Hmong culture. Before we get into that, though, I want to introduce you to one of the hardest working PE teachers I have known, Mrs. Winter.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I'm so privileged to be here with you all and join them this time. I'm super excited to be here. I hope everybody's in their pajamas, all nice and warm. I just thought I would do like all the days put together. And I'm just super excited to be here and get to share with you also. So, yeah, good morning, McBride family and people that are joining us. I'm super excited to see of you. Oh, Masada's in the house. So I get to introduce the very amazing and super, super talented, way talented music teacher that we have, Mr. Carr. That way.
Very kind of you, Ms. Winter. Thank you so much. And it's so great to be able to do this with you all today. Good morning to all of our classes out there. Thank you for joining us, to our families. We're so glad that you are here. And we're just really excited. Good morning from the Amesco family. Hi, so glad you're with us. And we're just so excited that we get to share this time with you of celebrating culture and celebrating our hardworking students and our amazing families and community here. So we're going to dig right in because we have a lot of amazing things planned for today's assembly. Ms. Nixon, what are we starting with today?
Oh my, well, we're starting with the Native American culture and of course the artwork that our very talented students have created, kindergarten through fourth grade. So you're going to see so many different things relating to the Native American culture. Totem pole, kachina dolls, dream catchers, hide painting, and also a very special painting from the third graders of the Native Americans looking at the mountains and the sunset, because the Native Americans really had such a love for the land. So I hope you enjoy it. I'm so proud of my students. Wow. So real proud of my students. And well, now I'd like to introduce Mr. Carr, and he'll tell you about the music.
Yes, absolutely. And thanks, Miss Carol. Yes, all the artwork was completely amazing. And I do want to take a moment to just say thank you to all of our families who have sent in pictures or helped their students send in the work that they've been doing. That's been awesome for us to interact with you in that way. Next, we're going to see a video from our students celebrating the Native American culture through music. You'll see them. They learned 2 Cherokee social dances from a person named Martha Redbone, who taught us a little bit about the culture and some songs. So you're going to see the bear dance as well as a friendship dance. And these dances, I hope, in this time of not being able to be together in person, I hope that watching these videos will help you have a sense of that gathering feeling of our wonderful community. So I hope you enjoy the bear dance and the friendship dance.
Wahe, 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 wahe. Hey yo, hey ata, hane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, gane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, hane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, gane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, hane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, gane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, gane hiyo. Hey yo, hey ata, gane hiyo. Hey aganu, hey aganu. Hey yo, hey aganu, hey aganu. Hey yo, hey aganu, hey aganu. Hey yo, hey yo. Hey ya yo, hey ya yo, hey ya yo, hey ya yo. Awe ha, hawa hey ya ne, oh ya ne. Awe ha, hawa hey ya ne, oh ya ne. We ha. Yaho gane wa yorane, Yaho gane wa hoyane, Yaho gane wa hoyane, Yaho gane wa yonyane. We ha yo ho hi ho ho we yo hi ho yo ho hi ho jali eli ga yo.
Evangeline, I'm glad you like the song. It's pretty cool, right? That helps me just feel that sense of that, just feeling the love, feeling the friendship that we have at our amazing school and in our community. And Ms. Winter, what did our PE students learn for the Native American culture?
Yeah, some of you are wondering, well, what's physical education have to do with multicultural? Well, every culture has its own games and its own food, and food is definitely about the health and what we learn in school. And so a lot of our junior hires and some of the classes I had, I would ask them questions. They actually did some videos and learned about some Native American foods. Okay, so we think about, you know, the land, and they did fishing and stuff, but did you know one of the main meats that they always had, that they love to share, was bison? Did not know that. We learned so much. So my kids kind of learned about some of the foods they had. And I come from Northern California. I'm driven by a bison farm. Now I know why. Because we have a couple of tribes in Northern California, and we would have totem poles at our shopping centers, and it's kind of all come together. I understand how that all works now, and so the kids learned about some of the foods. So, but we do have a special video right now from our own librarian, Miss Jan. She did this awesome video for us, and she's going to share some history and some artifacts about our valley and the region that we live in right now. And so we're going to share that right now with you.
Hello, Aspen families. We're here today to share with you Native American Heritage Month. And I have a few things to show you later on. But first of all, I want to talk to you a little bit uh, about the Native Americans. Did you know that they were the first Americans, actually? Before us, they were the very first Americans. And they were a strong, proud people that lived in this valley, in this very San Joaquin Valley, and in our foothills and up and down around our lakes. And they were a strong and proud people that made the most of everything that they were supplied with in the lakes, in the woods, with the animals, and all of the things that were provided by the earth. One of the things I learned about these people, this particular tribe, they said that they had the spirit of courage. And it must have taken courage to live off the land. Can you imagine? All of your food, your clothing, your housing, everything came from the land that you lived on and had to be provided by yourself and your family. So I'm going to share with you today some things that shows you how they did that by using some of the tools that I have that I can show you. The Native American people lived off the land, and the Yokuts have said that the land was good to them. It provided for them, and their main food was acorns, wild plants, roots, and berries. They also hunted deer, rabbits, prairie dogs, and birds, and that provided good meat for them. And they also were able to get fish from the lakes, which they loved. Their main food, as I said, was acorns. And the acorn had to be peeled, and then it was ground, usually a large stone like this. It's flat on the top. You can see it's that way because it's been used on this grind rock to press and rub until the hard acorn is ground into a meal that they can cook, probably like a cornmeal or an oatmeal. And that was one of the basic foods that sustained them. They also had dried berries. I'm using some cranberries here, but dried berries probably made some of their food sweet. They did not have sugar. For smaller items that they ground, there was also a stone that was smaller for maybe grinding the berries. And it was just rubbed across the stone like this. These stones all were tools made by them. This was chipped out of a rock, and you can see that the edges have all been chipped off to keep its shape like this. And it's just like we would have a cutting board in our kitchen. This was an all-purpose tool for them. And it has many years of wear on it. It's been worn smooth. When they went hunting, of course, there weren't guns. They had arrows. And to have arrows kill an animal, it has to have a sharp end. And so there's part of the tool is called an arrowhead. And you can see them here. If they have an indention like this on them, that means that it's an arrowhead that was wrapped around a long stick that has been hardened, straightened and hardened, and it's tied until it's on very tight, able to be shot from a bow. And an arrow this size would probably be used to kill a medium-sized animal. There were larger animals that you had to use a larger arrowhead probably. And these little tiny ones might have been used to kill birds. Now, not all of these are arrowheads. Some of them are tools. I understand that this is a tool that was tied to the end of a stick and used as a drill to make holes in leather or in rock. These items that are black are made from obsidian. Couldn't think of the name for a minute. It's made from obsidian. These lighter arrowheads are made from flint. This one, this one, this one. Now, in order to have an arrow be nice and straight, they didn't grow straight. They were made from wood that they cut from the trees. And this is a tool that was used to straighten the arrows. And you can see the groove in it. And you can see that how it was used. They would soak the wood and then heat the stone. And then the steam coming from off the stick that's wet and run it through here would straighten that piece. So it would be a nice straight arrow to attach to the arrowhead. Of course, everybody likes pretty things, and the Native Americans loved pretty things, just like we do. Now, most of these beads that we've collected were beads that were traded from people who came through the country at that time. There were fur traders and settlers, and they knew that the Native American people would enjoy these things, and so they always brought something that they could trade. All of these were made from glass, but except these. These little beads were made by the Native Americans themselves. These are made from rock. They've drilled a hole in them and made their own little stone beads. They made simple clothing. They made some of their clothing out of bark and grass, and their jewelry and their headbands were made of seeds and feathers. And later on, when they began to accumulate some of these beads, you can see that they were able to put those onto their clothing too. All of these items that I've shared with you today are called artifacts. And artifacts are simply objects made by human hands that have historical value and meaning. I hope you enjoyed this. I do want to tell you that if you are interested in hearing any more about the Yokuts, the Tachi Yokuts, who still are living and thriving here in the area, you can YouTube a program called Tachi Yokuts. On YouTube, you'll find them, and it's a pretty interesting video, and you'll see how their story has progressed and how well they are doing now. And I think you'll find that interesting. So thank you. I will have some more to show you later on this week in books. I have some books that I want to share with you from the library. I have quite an assortment of Native American stories and folklore and legends, and I'll be happy to share them with you a little bit later. So thank you. We'll see you then.
Wow, thank you, Miss Jan. That was beautiful.
Absolutely.
Absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're switching gears a little bit, and we're going to celebrate the Hmong culture. And there's a personal thing I want to share with you about the Hmong culture. I am not from California, and when I moved here, about 10 years ago, I never heard of the Hmong people. And so I'm just so thrilled to be here and to learn more about the Hmong culture, the Hmong people. So that's a little personal note on my part, but I do want to share with you the beautiful artwork that our kindergarten through fourth graders have created relating to the Hmong culture. You're going to see some special Hmong dress, and you're going to see rooster, which is a very special bird to the Hmong culture. It symbolizes good luck and well wishes for the new year. And then also, when the Hmong people did come from their native land to America, they did not speak English. So the best thing they knew was farming. So many of our Hmong families own farms. So you're going to see some artwork relating to that. So I hope you enjoy it. Wow.
That was amazing, Ms. Nixon.
Yeah, and I want to, like Mr. Carr said, I want to thank the families for participating. Because we asked the families if they're interested to participate, and they've sent some wonderful photos for both the Native American video and also the Hmong video. So thank you, families, for doing that. We really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Mr. Carr, do you have something to share?
I sure do, of course. Yes, and I just want to say, Ms. Nixon, when you showed the first and the second grade art, and I saw these amazing perspective rows going towards the back, I was like, whoosh, amazing first and second grade art with the. It's just very cool, very very cool. Thank you. Also, Ms. Rivera, thank you for the reminder. You can still access our library books when we return from winter break, everybody. You can still access those library books when we return from winter break. So keep that in mind. What better way to continue to engage with culture and to just continue to expand all of our knowledge? We all have more that we can learn, and books are just such a wonderful way to do that. What did you say? We have learned a lot over the last several months, and as teachers, and hopefully you students and families have learned something as well. So we're grateful for the chance to learn with you. Next up, we're going to see what our music students learned about the Hmong culture. We studied some traditional instruments. We also learned about how some of those traditional elements are brought into modern pop Hmong music, which was really cool to hear. And we also learned a little bit about the language, because Hmong language is tonal, which means that it uses pitch, high and low tones, to actually change the words. So that was pretty interesting to learn about and to try to practice. So what we're going to see next is our students wishing our Hmong neighbors, community, and friends a happy new year. So check it out.
Hi there! I will be teaching you all how to say Happy New Year in the Hmong language. Now there are two dialects in the Hmong language, the green and the white dialects. To begin with, I will say the green and then follow up the white. Nya zhong shong cha. Nya zhong shong cha. Now the white dialects. Nho rong shong chia. Nho rong shong chia.
Happy New Year.
Oh, they did a great job.
Yeah, pretty good, right? Very, very cool. And I just wanted to take a moment too to say, everybody, if you're not part of our Google Classrooms for art, PE, or music, we really encourage you to get involved because we have so much fun putting together materials for you, and the things that we learn, that we get to learn together, are just amazing. So want to point your attention to those as well. And if you have questions about how to get involved with those, you can just reach out to me, Miss Nixon, or Miss Winter. Speaking of Miss Winter, what's up with Hmong culture in our PE classes?
Yeah, let me just tell you, definitely lots of stuff on Google Classroom. Thanks for mentioning that. And we learned a couple of games. I'm not going to try to say it in Hmong, that's for sure. But it was like a top spin game where you had a string and they would throw it. They had mad skills. It was great. They would hit these little things really far away. Our kids got to watch some of those games and stuff like that they did. But we learned, and the other thing is like Miss Nixon had some pictures of the new year. We've been talking a lot about the Hmong New Year. We also learned about a game that they do in the new year called toss ball. And this was a chance for girls and boys to talk to each other. They weren't really allowed to do it some other times, or if they get a little older, they would actually be courting someone, but they do it while they're tossing a ball back and forth. It was pretty cool. I don't know if that's for space, but I think maybe just to teach them how to catch and throw, maybe, I don't know. But it was really a great thing to learn and really see. Because I'm with Miss Dixon, I came to Fresno for college and have lived in this area, but I learned so much about the Hmong culture. And I mean, I even found out that they rent out the Fresno Fairgrounds for their New Year's. It's for a whole week that they celebrate, and usually about 120,000 people come to that. I just think that is incredible. And boy, that sounds like a really fun time that I would like to check out. And they just have food and fun and games and laughter and stuff. I'm sure, unfortunately, this year they probably may not be able to get together like that, but I just think what a strong culture they have and doing that. And one of the foods that they get to celebrate with is one of their main dishes is a papaya salad. And we have a video from Miss Her to share that with us. And I'm super excited that you get to see this. Actually, I might have to try cooking it sometime. So we'll see that now.
Hi everyone, I am going to show you how to make papaya salad. I hope that you guys will enjoy this recipe. Happy holidays and Happy New Year! To begin with, a papaya fruit. Okay. Find all these ingredients at the Asian supermarket. Lime, tomatoes, okay, small tomatoes or the big ones, whichever you prefer. Pepper, okay, you can find anywhere at the supermarket. Garlic, sugar, a little bit of salt, crab paste, okay, shrimp paste, fish sauce, my favorite brand, and I also recommend roasted peanuts, okay. Another type of fish sauce. Now this type is more of a ground preserved fish, and it's made to a sauce that you can also use for your papaya. To begin with, I will be smashing the Clover garlic and the Thai chili pepper into this mortar. Okay, this is how the mortar looks like. Chili pepper and the garlic, it does not have to be super ground, okay? You want it to have that rough texture. Pull it, and then you will shred it, and this is how your papaya fruit would become. Crab paste, about a small teaspoon. So you kind of want to balance out the crab paste and the shrimp paste. So I also did a small teaspoon of the shrimp paste. So, here's my big spoon. Okay, I'm going to toss that in. You want to smash it. So as you smash it, you want to twist, turn, make sure you mix it up. And you're gonna add some roasted peanut, maybe just grab a little bit, about this much, a handful, toss it in. So again, you want everything to have that rough texture. Okay, so just like that. Next, we'll put in, I will use about 4 to 5 of the tomatoes. They are small size, maybe sometimes 6. Smash it up. Lime. Now I prefer to slicing it with the skins on, the lime skin on, just because it tastes better that way. I did forget one ingredient. Tamarind is also another ingredient. Okay, so I'm just gonna add in maybe a spoonful, depending on your preference. Now the fish sauce. Okay, just a little bit. And this is the final result. Okay. Super yummy.
I'm hungry.
Wow, that was great.
I need to go back and watch this video later so I can practice that recipe. Looks good.
Looks great.
Well, our students had a lot of questions about the Hmong culture, and so we invited a very special guest to answer the questions about the Hmong culture. So I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Zong Roar, who has been so gracious to visit us at our live assembly. And thank you, because I know you have a very busy schedule. Doctor has lectured at Fresno State, or does lecture at Fresno State. And thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Miss Nixon, for inviting me, and thank you, Mr. Carr. I think you guys, the students at your school are the luckiest by far, all right? For them to be celebrating both the Native American culture and the Hmong culture. And so I'm very, very pleased to be here, all right? I even dressed up for your students because I know that this is the Hmong New Year season, and it does take place the day right after Christmas. It goes on from the 26th of December all the way to January 1st, which is New Year's Day. And so I'm here just to answer a few of your questions. I dressed up and I'm ready to toss ball with any one of you if you're ready to catch it, okay?
I love that.
Well, wonderful. Well, Doctor, one of the first questions the students had was, how old is the Hmong culture?
The Hmong culture it's still a mystery, but we've been known to be the Aboriginal tribe of China. And that's like 5,000 years ago.
Wow.
Okay, so the Hmong people have been migrating from place to place, and they have no written documentation of where they've been, what countries they've been to, where they've lived. And so it was always, I want to say that in my perceptions, it's kind of a genocide. Wherever they went, they were kind of being killed off. So they continue to move. And so we don't have a written correct history of how long we've been in existence, but history does say that we have been the Aboriginal tribe of China before the dynasties have even been there.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So one of the other questions, Doctor, is why did some of the Hmong people have to leave their country?
Yeah, so the Hmong people, so I was born back in Laos, and Laos is in Southeast Asia. The reason why we left Laos, and I know Laos and I know the history in China. In China, we experience a lot of what the European experiences. We had to pay taxes. So we had to pay taxes, and when taxes were unfair, and when we could not practice our own religion and stuff like that, we moved. So people were killed because they did not submit to follow whoever the king or the dynasties were. So in China, they levied hefty taxes on the Hmong people, and when they refused to pay, guess what? They didn't refuse to pay. They were very obedient people. When they did not have the means to pay for it, these Chinese dynasties or these Chinese lords would come and take their wives and children. And so what do a man and a father do? They protect their wives and their children at all costs. And so they fought. They fought in wars for hundreds of years. And then when a lot of their people are dying, then the next best thing to do is to flee that country. And so that's what the Hmong people did in China. They did not win the wars because they were outnumbered by the Chinese. So they moved from China down to Vietnam, to Burma, to Laos, to Thailand. And after living in Laos and Thailand and all those Southeast Asian countries for hundreds of years, the Hmong people got themselves involved in what is known as the Secret War. So when the Vietnam War was happening in Vietnam, Laos was supposed to be a neutral country. And neutral meaning nobody could set foot on it and ask them to fight. However, once Laos was declared a neutral country, the communist regime basically took off their communist clothes and lived in the country so that they could rule. Whereas the Americans came back home. So the Americans came back home, and knowing that, oh, we left these Hmong people to die, they came back. They came back through the Central Intelligence Agency. As the American CIAs came down to Laos, they also recruited the Hmong people, the Laos, the Khmer people, and they fought a secret war. What the Hmong people's role in that secret war was to rescue down American pilots. They were supposed to sabotage the Khmer Rouge's trail as they were traveling from North Vietnam to South Vietnam. And so when you have these Hmong farmers, as you see in the video you guys just showed, they're just Hmong farmers. They're raising crops and livestock for their family. Now they're asked to protect their family through joining the American CIA's secret war army. So that is why the Hmong people had to flee their country, because after Laos, or after the communists gained their regime and gained their control, the Hmong people were sought after, and they were going to be killed by the hundreds. So that is why we are here in America, and I'm so happy to be here in America as a result of my dad's participation in the Army. He was recruited into the Army at the age of 12. And if you know your Hmong children, they're very, very petite. They're very small. When my dad had to carry that that gun, AK, whatever, the automatic rifle there, he had to lift it to the side so that it would not touch the ground. That's how small he was. So we are here because of our involvement in the war, which is 45 years ago. Okay, so that. Sorry it took me so long to answer just one question.
Oh, no, that's fascinating.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, there's another question that I think is real cute and appropriate for now.
Yes.
Do the Hmong people celebrate Christmas, and what do you eat for Christmas?
Oh my goodness, yeah. So the Hmong people, because we are always we're always moving. So when we moved from China to Laos, we adopted some cultural traditions in Laos. When we moved from Laos to Thailand to the refugee camps, we adopted some rituals and cultural celebrations. And then now in America, we adopted Christmas with open arms. So we celebrate Christmas just like we were taught in schools and just like we would you guys. Okay, so we hang stockings in our by our chimney, we have Christmas trees, we have presents, and a lot of the older generation, they don't even know what the meaning of Christmas is. They just know it's a beautiful celebration, so we'll do it too. But during Christmas time, the Hmong people celebrate the Hmong New Year, and it is a combination of Thanksgiving and the New Year together. So the Hmong New Year is a culmination of a year-long season of harvest. And so we are thanking our ancestors and our gods about the bountiful of crops that we have harvested. And in celebration for that, we hold a huge feast too. Huge feast to thank the gods, to thank our ancestors for the blessing. And we go from house to house eating. And then the day after that is when we do the Hmong New Year. And the Hmong New Year's purpose is for people to visit. And for our young children back in Laos, the reason why, and this goes into your next question too, but it's the day after our big feast is when the young students, the young children get to go and toss the ball. And I noticed that in different cultures, they have like a talking stick. So you can't talk unless you have the stick. The Hmong people, we just use a ball to toss back and forth to kind of kill time, but we're connected by that ball tossing. And back in Laos, a lot of the Hmong students and children can sing beautiful poems, chants, and songs. Here in America, we don't learn those traditions, so we don't know how to sing. So only the elders do. But they would toss the ball back and forth. And it is a way for children to get to know one another. And in a lot of times, this little talking blossoms into a courtship relationship. And then they end up maybe after New Year or a few months down the road, engaging and getting married.
Oh.
So that's the power of the ball.
Oh, wow. Well, Dr. Zung-Lor, you have really shared so many wonderful things with us. And we are out of time, but I want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it, Doctor.
Absolutely. I love it. And thank you. Continue to do the great work that you guys are doing. And hopefully our paths will cross someday in the future too. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Happy
much.
New Year.
All right. Happy New Year. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, that was great.
That is very, very cool. I'm so grateful that we could have Dr. Vicki Zung-Lor with us.
Oh, yes. It was wonderful that you took time out to be with us. So, okay, so I'd like, I think now it's time that Mr. Davis comes on board. He's going to share a little bit about the dress-up day that we've had. So, everybody get ready for the wonderful dress-up day video slide.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Nixon. Good morning, Aspen Valley Eagles, and happy Friday. Happy Pajama Day. It's Mr. Davis here, your school counselor, reporting from home. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this week's Holiday Spirit Week. Please enjoy some of the pictures that were sent in by our teachers and some of our families. I hope you all enjoyed those pictures sent in by our teachers and families. We appreciate everyone's participation. Now it's time to announce the winners of our Holiday Spirit Week. Can I get a drum roll, please? All right, our Holiday Spirit Week winners we have a total of 8 winners. So we have Isabella V, Emma V, Juliana R, Janelle R, Logan C, Gunnar B, Adriana R, and Noah R. Congratulations to all of our winners. I hope you enjoy your Christmas stockings. I want to thank everyone again for participating in our Holiday Spirit Week. I hope you all have a happy and safe holiday break. See you next semester.
Awesome. I loved it. I was just smiling so big and laughing because just so much spirit, so much joy in those in the amazing dress up. So fun. And you know what? We have had an amazing assembly so far, but we're not done yet because we have actually one more video of some holiday spirit that we'd like to share with you. So check this out from Eli. I got one of those, Eli. You got to tell me where you found it. We want to introduce our amazing, wonderful. What kind of words can we use to describe these people? There are no words. They're just amazing. Next
Spectacular.
Spectacular, fabulous, wonderful. The awesome administration team at Aspen Valley, Mr. Trejo and Ms. Rivera here to give some student shout-outs.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you so much for staying with us this long. It's been great to see what all of the students have been learning around these two cultures. And so we just want to say thank you to our special guest, Dr. Zhang. That was amazing to have her on, and we hope to have more guests in the future. Mr. Trejo and I get to do a little fun part of some student shout outs. And so we are going to shout out some students for some of our programs and our softwares that we do outside of the Zoom room. And so that includes Lexia Core 5, Lexia Power Up, ST Math, MobiMax. And today we have a special leaderboard for MobiMax. So the top students that scored there will also get a special shout out. And then at the very end, we also have some 4th grade poems that will come later on. So yeah, I'll start off with Mr. Trejo.
Thanks for that, Ms. Rivera. We're going to start off with our Lexia Core 5 students that have received some special recognition from their teachers. And so let's hear it for Elizabeth S.G., Leah P., Miles L., Audrina R., Natasha S., Natalie S., Christopher C., Evan C., Santino R., Robert A., Willow G., Brian N., Molly F., Jameson R., Zendaya D., Desmond U.L., Cassandra D., Aries W., Alexander C., Emery C., Gunnar B., Zoe H., Mika H., Mark C., Lucas S., Isaiah D., Elliot C., Nicole A., Makai F., Vivian C., Kieta M., Liliana H., and Charlotte X. Good job, everyone, on Lexia Core 5. The next one that we're going to be announcing are our Lexia Power Up winners, and this is for our students that are in 6th through 8th grade. For Lexia Power Up, we have Ava H, Lily M, Adonis R, Ben O, Akeelan A, Destiny L, Donnell P, Cyrus L, Isaiah W, David VL, Sydney C, Jasmine F, Jeffrey D, and Sydney L. Good job, everyone. And next, I'm going to have Ms. Rivera lead us in the next couple of slides.
Yes, now we're doing math, which is my favorite subject, and we'll start off with ST Math. So we'd like to shout out Santino R, Elizabeth SG, Javon M, Nathan TG, Malachi H, Derek C, Isabella V, Irie M, Mia H, Desmond UL, Riley H, Osiris S, Joseph D, John J, Grace L, Molly F, Aubrey C, Mateo B, Monroe C, Charlotte X, Dominique J, Deliza C, Avery T, Gunner B, Logan C, Zoe H, Luke L, Adrian M, Gunner T, Jaden T M. So shout out to all our ST math people. And now we're going to go to Moby Max here. And we're going to shout out Aiden G, Aja H, Gigi S, Larissa W, Genesis S, Eden L, Sylvester T, Zoe M, David B, Cassandra D, Eli R, Nathan R, David C, Chase L, Andrea G, Leslie T, William F, Isabel S, Alex C, Edgar G, and Ashley D. Woo! That's a mouthful. Making sure to get those initials at the end right.
For our last slide, we have our Summit Learning MobyMax and Lexia competition. And so as of December, Mrs. Witz gave us these names for the highest points leaderboard. And so here are the Valley students that we would like to recognize at this time. So Cyrus L has 467 points, William F 373, Destiny L 371, Ashley D 334, Michaela O 296, Jasmine F 220, Natalia S 214, Aaron O 203, Megan M 199, Isaiah W 198, Chase L 197, Jose S M 195, D. Anthony M 194, Aries W 192, Madison B 174, Mia H 156, and last Aaron H 151. And if you are not on this list and you're in 5th through 8th grade, please try to catch up to these students and turn in your Lexia and MobyMax minutes so that way you get credit for all of the work that you have done. We definitely want to encourage you to be on this leaderboard next time.
And one last thing before we move on to the next choir performance and student poems is, I know we have all of our students watching and we have a lot of parents watching. I want to remind you that report cards are still coming out on January 29th, I believe. And so you still have time to get in those missing assignments. You still have time to make sure you up those grades before we do that. And so parents, teachers, make sure you guys are collaborating so that way our students can get the best scores that they can. And then I also want to remind you that open enrollment is coming soon. We are starting to accept students. I know a lot of parents have been reaching out to me about kindergarten. When is that opening up? They have younger siblings trying to join us. You can share with your friends starting now so that as soon as we post, you guys can apply. So definitely look out for more information on Parent Square there. But make sure you guys are doing your schoolwork. And we're so proud, and we're going to move on to some student poems.
Thanks so much, Ms. Rivera, Mr. Trejo. And I believe we have some poems. We're so happy that we get to hear from our students, some of their great poetry.
Thanksgiving by Riley. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and I am super excited to see my grandparents, family, and friends. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and I'm really happy because I get to eat apple pie, corn, mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, and stuffing. And I'm going to be as stuffed as the turkey we're going to eat. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and my cousins and I are really happy to see each other because we haven't seen each other in months. Today is Thanksgiving Day, and if I'm being honest, Thanksgiving is actually my favorite holiday. Thanksgiving Day is like when you sit by the fire waiting for your hot chocolate to finish, but instead you are waiting for the turkey to be done. Today, Thanksgiving is going to be fun with all my family and friends.
I'm Malachi, and I wrote a poetry assignment. It's called Birthday Celebration. I got a dog who was softer than a pillow. I got a dog who ate like a wolf. I got a dog who ran like a speeding deer. I got a dog who howled like a wolf. I got a dog who growled greater than a starving lion. I got a dog who was greater than the greatest guard. I got a dog whose nose was sharper than a lion. I got a dog who saw flowers dancing in the wind. I got a dog who loves to lick more than loving cats. I got a dog who is smart and gives a space.
This is my poem called Thanksgiving Cheer. Thanksgiving is about family and friends. We celebrate Thanksgiving in honor of the American Indians and the Pilgrims. Sometimes we go outside. One time we went outside on Thanksgiving Day. The wind danced through the trees. Whoosh bam, the wind said. It was finally time to eat. I was so stuffed. I was as stuffed as a turkey. I did not even have room in my stomach for pumpkin pie. Thanksgiving is the best part of the year. I have Thanksgiving cheer.
I'm gonna record me reading my poetry assignment, and here we go. Christmas Day. Christmas is a day of celebration. Christmas is when leaves dance in the winter. Christmas is a day when you get people presents. Christmas is like a day of joy. Christmas is when people say Merry Christmas a million times. Christmas is a day when you smell Christmas cookies. Christmas is when you see bright, big, beautiful colors of Santa. Christmas is a day when your family comes to celebrate with you. Christmas is when you hear brr.
This is the poem that I made about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is cousins, family, and games. Thanksgiving is delicious delicacies. Thanksgiving is fun at the barracks. Thanksgiving is just like paradise. Thanksgiving is the best thing in the world. I hope you liked it.
Hi everybody, I'm Albert. I'm from 4th grade. I made this poem about fall. It's called Fall. Okay. Fall is the best of them all. Fall is full of colors. Fall is like sipping hot cocoa. Fall is family fun. Fall is happy as can be. Fall is my world. It can be your world too. Fall is the best time of the year. Well, that was it. I really hope you liked my poem. Stay cool. Stay awesome. Bye.
Hey, my name's Evan Chitai, and I'm gonna be telling you my poem I made, and the title is called Holidays, and I'm just gonna talk to you. Right. Holidays are happy times with history. Holidays are like rice; they all are different. Holidays have no bad times like regular days. Holidays have memories, like the time when Halloween hit and you traded candy with your cousins at their house. Holidays are great times. I never want the day to end. It's like the day never ends to me, which I wish it did, but Sadly, it doesn't.
Like I said, wait
That's how
until
the days
we're
work.
done here so that I'm not talking behind you in the background. Go ahead,
Goodbye. That's my poem.
So I'm going to be reading my poem. So mine's about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is about family and friends. My next line is, Thanksgiving is when you eat and have a good time. Thanksgiving is about having a special day with you, your family. Thanksgiving is like a bomb that goes boom with your family. Thanksgiving is like a mashed potato with gravy. And that's my poem that I did. It's about Thanksgiving and family.
Wow.
Those were wonderful poems. I loved them. I was just thinking about just the artistry of our students. Just really a beautiful crafting of those poems. What did you say, Ms. Nixon?
You know what? I was just thinking this, that art is not just painting and drawing. Art's dancing. Art is music. Art is poetry writing. It's there's so much to the world of art, and boy, the students were fabulous.
Absolutely. And the way that those art forms can touch our hearts and give us that sense of whatever it might be, whatever the emotion that's trying to convey is very cool. Okay, well, speaking of our fourth graders, 4th through 6th grade choir has been practicing a song, and I'm so happy that I get to share that with you now. We've been working hard on Zoom choir practice. Can you imagine that? If you are not part of a Zoom choir, just think about how that works for a second. We have been doing our best to practice our song, and I'm so excited that we get to share this with you. So please enjoy, and I hope you feel inspired and loved, our 4th through 6th grade choir.
3, 2, 1. Sometime in our lives we all have pain, we all have sorrow, but if we are wise, we know that there's always tomorrow. Lean on me when you're not strong, and I'll be your friend. I'll help you carry on, for it won't be long till I'm gonna need somebody to lean on. Please swallow your pride. If I have a thing you need to borrow, for no one can fill those of your needs that you don't let show. You just call on a brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. I just might have a problem that you don't
Wow, Mr. Carr, that was amazing how you did that and brought it all together like that. And oh, the kids were spectacular.
I got goosebumps. That was great. That was good.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mr. Carr, for all your great work on that. That's great. Good job, kids. You great voices. That was just a great way to kind of wrap up our assembly and just really shows we are Aspen strong and we're in this together, huh?
Yes, and I want to thank the administration for all your support, the teachers for all your support, and the parents. Thank you for all your support. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, parents, we appreciate you definitely. You know, art, PE, music, it's a little bit difficult sometimes on Zooms, and we appreciate your help and sticking it in there with us, definitely. And we just wish everybody has just a restful break.
Mr. Carr, do you want to mention about enrollment?
Yeah, we just want to remind you one more time, everybody, that our open enrollment is coming right around the corner. So make sure you reach out to your friends, neighbors, community members that you know. We would love to expand our Aspen Valley community. I think that we've seen today how valuable it is and what a wonderful organization it is to be a part of. So we hope that if you feel like this is a wonderful community for you and your family, that you could reach out to somebody and let them know. It's just a win-win, as we say. And yes, it's just been wonderful to be with everyone. We're so proud of all of our students, and we're so grateful. And we want to say thanks to everyone who was watching. Hi, Miss Carol. Thank you for all that you do in getting connected here. And we know we went a little longer than expected, but there was just so much to celebrate with you. And we want to wish you the best break. Happy holidays and rest for you all. Thanks again, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Aspen strong. Aspen strong.
That's right.